Jnanantimandasya Ganangana Salakaya Chaksusumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapatayana Bhutale Sanya Rupa Kadama Yandadati Sampadantika Vandeha Se Guru Sritam Padakamala Se Guru Vaishnavamscha Se Rupam Sakyata Sagana Raghunatha Tavitam Sajivam Sadhuetan Savadutan Parijana Saitan Sri Krishna Chaitanya Deva Sri Radha Krishna Padasahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhavitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jigapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Takta Kanchana Goranga Radha Vrindavaniswari Vishabhanu Sutadeva Panamami Hari Priye Vanchakapatarubhyascha Kripaschuntibhevacha Patitānāṁ pavanaḥ Vaishnavebhyo namo namah Namamo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nibise Sasanyavadi Pashta Dishatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Premapadayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gaurata Nama Se Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadara Siva Shadi Gauravakta Pinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Ananda Lila Maya Vigraya Himabada Vichavi Sundaraya Tasma Maha Primrasha Pradaya Chaitanya Chandaya Nama Namastute Chaitanya Chandaya Nama Namastute. So I thank everyone for being here this evening for the Bhagavad Gita class. So we are in the chapter of the Vibhuti or the opulence of the Lord, opulence of the Absolute. So Lord Krishna has been describing his various opulence. Basically, anything wonderful, anything big in this world. So we should understand that to be Krishna is the mighty of the strong. Balam balabatan aham which says so Krishna say, I am the mighty. Balam means strong. So the strongest thing we can think of in this world, that is Krishna. So the Lord is describing his various opulences this way. So today we are text 30 and then text 31. So the Lord says, prahlādaś cāsmi daityānāṁ kalayatām aham mṛgāṇāṁ ca mṛgendro vainateyaś pakṣiṇām prahlāda cha also asmi aham daityānāṁ of the demons kalayat time kalayatām of subduers aham am mṛgāṇāṁ of animals cha and mṛga-indraḥ the lion aham am vainateyaḥ Garuḍa cha also pakṣiṇām of birds. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki. Among the Daitya demons, I am the devoted Prahlāda. Among subduers, I am time. Among beasts, I am the lion. And among birds, I am Garuḍa. Purport. Diti and Aditi are two sisters. The sons of Aditi are called Adityas, and the sons of Diti are called Daityas. All the Adityas are devotees of the Lord, and all the Daityas are atheistic. Although Prahlāda was born in the family of the Daityas, he was a great devotee from his childhood. Because of his devotional service and godly nature, he is considered to be a representative of Krishna. There are many subduing principles, but time wears down all things in the material universe, and so represents Krishna. Of the many animals, the lion is the most powerful and ferocious. And of the million varieties of birds, Garuḍa, the bearer of Lord Vishnu, is the greatest. So this everything that is very, very interesting in this world, that is representative of Krishna, the Lord. So Diti and Aditi, they are two sisters, and both of them, they are the wives of Kashyapa Muni. So Kashyapa Muni is the husband of the two sisters. Kashyapa Muni, he was one of the sons of Brahma. And Diti and Aditi, I can't recollect who is their father, but they were sisters. So now, from Aditi comes all the demigods like Indra, Vayu, all the major demigods. Huh? Huh? Yeah, Sun, Suryadev. So all the major demigods. So Aditya is their mother. This also include Vamandev. Vamandev is also the son of Aditya. And of course, Vamandev is described to be the junior to Indra, so he's called Upendra. Because the junior to Indra, even though he's God, Vamandev is incarnation of God, but he appeared after Indradev. And of course, Indra worshipped Vaman. Many pastimes are there. Now Diti, even though she's also the wife of Kashyapa, but from her all the demons came about. All the demons were produced from her. Even sometimes, because Lord Vishnu is always engaged in killing the demons due to the calling of Indra Dev. So Indra is always making a scheme so that Lord Vishnu will come to kill all the demons who are the sons of Aditi. So sometime she will get mad. Just like after the killing of Vitasura, there are some 6. Anyway, after the killing of some children of Diti, so she became angry, and then she was performing some austerity so that Indra could be killed. And then Indra had to do some trick so that his killing could be avoided by Diti. So Diti was the mother of Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. She was their mother. And Hiranyakashipu, he was the father of Prahlāda. Because Lord Vishnu had killed his brother Hiranyaksha, so Hiranyakashipu, he wanted to take a revenge. He wanted to kill Vishnu. He said, I must kill Vishnu because this Vishnu had killed my brother, so I must take a revenge to kill Vishnu. So Hiranyakashipu, he went, performed for 100 celestial years. He was performing very severe austerity. So much so that, he was so much so that all his bones, his bodies completely, they were totally eaten up by the ants. His bones, everything was eaten up by the ants. But somehow, because of his being developing a great mystic power, he was able to keep his life hair within the bone. So even though because of his severe austerity, the whole universe was terrorized, was in a big, terrible situation, that all the demigods, they call upon Lord Brahma to do something about this, because this Hiranyakashipu was performing a severe austerity. So Lord Brahma came and he revived the body of Hiranyakashipu and asked Hiranyakashipu for a benediction. What does he want? So Hiranyakashipu, he asked to be immortal, but Lord Brahma said, no, I cannot give you immortality because even myself, I'm not immortal. So anyway, so Hiranyakashipu said, okay, give me a benediction that I cannot be killed by a human being or by animal. I cannot be killed in the daytime or nighttime. I cannot be killed in the water or on the land. So he was asking for so many benedictions because he wanted to make sure that Vishnu will not in any way kill him. Because he knew that sometimes Vishnu comes as a human being, or sometimes he comes as an animal, or sometimes it may be daytime, nighttime, in the water or in the land. So Hiranyakashipu, he thought of so many ways by which a person can be killed. That I cannot be killed by any weapons, anything. So Lord Brahma, he said, okay, yes, I gave them to you. Tatashtum. So now, Hiranyakashipu, he said, now I'm basically immortal because nobody can kill me. No human being, no animal, not in the water, on the land, daytime, nighttime. I cannot be killed. So he thought himself to be immortal. However, he has a son who happened to be a great devotee of Lord Vishnu, Prahlāda. Even Prahlāda, right from the womb of his mother, because after Hiranyakashipu, after he went to the forest to perform austerities, so that time the demigods, they come to kidnap his wife, because they knew that his wife had become pregnant with a child. So the demigods, headed by Indra, they figured that because his son, Hiranyakashipu's son, was in the womb of his wife, they thought that maybe the child may even be more dangerous than Hiranyakashipu himself. So they went to kidnap his wife so that they can kill the child within the womb. But they were stopped by Nada Muni. Nada Muni said, no, the child within the womb of Kayadu, who was Hiranyakashipu's wife, that he's a great devotee of Lord Vishnu. So Nada Muni, he took the wife and brought her to his ashram. And then he was giving instruction to her, but she wasn't listening. But actually, he was actually instructing Prahlāda within the womb of his mother. So for a long period of time, every day, Narada Muni will instruct Prahlāda. So Prahlāda became a great devotee, greatest devotee of the Lord, while within the womb of his mother. And then, of course, he came out of the womb. And then, when Hiranyakashipu returned from his austerity, when he returned from the forest, so Nada Muni took Prahlāda to his father. And of course, when we read the 7th canto of Bhagavatam, we have the story of Prahlāda. So Prahlāda is such a great devotee of the Lord that even when the Hiranyakashipu, he tried to kill Prahlāda, he tried to kill him, but he could not kill him because Hiranyakashipu is so furious that his son is a devotee of Vishnu. So he's like, what is this? How can you be a devotee of my enemy? Even though he tried to give all kind of instruction to Prahlāda, still Prahlāda could not be killed. He would not listen. So he tried to kill him. So many different ways: poison, snake bite, being troubled by the elephant, many things. Still, Prahlāda could not be killed. So the Lord said, he said that among the Daityas, I'm the devoted Prahlāda. You know that especially in the Bhagavatam, the two personalities that always been glorified, that always whose narration are very dear to the Vaishnavas, are the narrations of Prahlāda and Dhruva Maharaj. Because these two persons, they were children, they were like Balaka, 6 years old. But they were great devotee of the Lord, especially Prahlāda Maharaj. So among the Daityas, the demons, even though there are some demoniac persons who, even though they were demons, they actually the Lord's devotees, just like Vritrasura. Vritrasura also was also a devotee, even though a demon. He was fighting with the demigods, but he was a devotee of the Lord, Vritrasura. Because Vritrasura, in his previous life, he was a great king, with the great king Chitraketu. He was a great king was actually a great devotee of the Lord. But somehow, Mother Parvati became very angry at him and caused him to fall down from his position, to become a demon. So he became a demon in his next life as Vritrasura. But even though he was a demon, he was still a devotee of the Lord. So sometimes a person may appear in the demoniac families, still they can still be a devotee. So Prahlāda, the Lord said that Prahlāda, he was a good devotee, so therefore is a representative of the Lord. All the great devotees, they represent the Lord, and it is through them that we can take up the devotion service or the great devotion, because they said there is Bhagavat, which is the narration of the Lord's pastimes, activities, and then there's also Bhagavatam. But there's Bhagavatam, which means the person's Bhagavat, Bhakta Bhagavat, and then there's Granta Bhagavat. So Bhakta Bhagavat are those devotees who represent the Lord. And it's those devotees, it's only through them only can we understand the science of Bhagavat. Only through them can we understand the science of the Supreme. So therefore, if one want to understand the Lord, if one want to understand the scriptures, he said, Yaha Bhagavata Pada Vaishnavirastane Ekantra Asaya Koro Chita Charane. That yes, if one want to understand Bhagavat, then one must approach the Vaishnava, who are the devotees of the Bhagavan, who are the devotees of the Lord. And this is possible by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the Lord said that yes. Now, among his subduers, I am time. The Lord said, I am time. After all, time controls everything. In the next chapter, the Lord said, Kalasmi. He said, time I am, the subduers of all. We often say, time and tide, wait for no one. In this world, time is everything. And there's nothing in this world that can make one purchase time. A person may have millions and billions of dollars, but he cannot purchase time. Our time, the time that we are meant to, be in this world, it's already calculated, and nothing can be done. Just like one time, one rich person, he was told by the doctor that, well, you only have 6 days to live. So the rich man said, doctor, is there anything I can do to make sure it doesn't, can I can spend any kind of money can you prolong my life? Doctor said, no, I cannot prolong your life. It's not up to me. I cannot, nothing can be done to prolong your life. Just like now, of course, there was a story the Puranic story when Satyavan and Savitri. Savitri was the wife, or I think her husband's name was Satyavan. So Savitri, when he was about to marry her husband, she was told that her husband only have 1 year to live. But the husband didn't know that, because he was young, he was very strong. He didn't know. But she was told that your husband is only going to have 1 year to live. So she still married the husband. So, because this is a long story. However, the 3 days before the death of her husband come, she just told her husband that, well, I'm going to the forest to perform austerity, because she didn't want her husband to die. But her husband didn't know why his wife all of a sudden wanted to go to the forest and perform austerities. Because she's a chaste wife. She said, I want to go to the forest and perform austerity for the good of my husband. So she went to the forest. She started performing austerity. she was performing such a great austerity that the time for the death of her husband was coming, when Yamaraj is supposed to come to take away her husband. And of course, he also came to the forest to see his wife performing this austerity. So that time, Yamaraj sent his servants to go and bring because the time was coming. So she knows that yes, time was coming, that her husband is about to die. So Yamaraj sent his servant to go and bring him. But when they were approaching him to take his life, they were unable to do so because of the austerity of Savitri. They were unable to take away his life. They were trying. But Yamaraj said, I must take away his life because it was ordained that at this particular time, this person must die. So Yamaraj himself came to take away, to take away the soul of the husband of, I think his name is Satyabhṛtām, that was his name, of Savitri, his husband, to take away. But because Savitri was performing such a great austerity, she wanted to reverse the cause of her husband being died at this particular time. So she started following Yamaraj. And as she's following Yamaraj told her that, go back because your husband is meant to die at this particular, I'm supposed to take away your husband. So you must go back. She said, no, I'm going to follow you. You cannot take away my husband, I'm going to follow you. And then so many conversation is there that is, you find this in the Mahabharata, in the conversation of I think Bhishma Dev narrated this story. And then eventually Yamaraj asked Savitri that, okay, I'm going to give you benediction, whatever you want, I'm going to give you benediction. And you promise me that I'm going to give you benediction, and then you must go. She said, okay, give me the benediction. And so Yamaraj asked her that, ask me for something, ask me for a benediction. She said, okay, I want you to make me become a mother of 100 sons. Let me be able to produce 100 sons. So Yamaraj said, yes, okay. I'll grant you a benediction that you become a mother of 100 sons. And then she said, if I'm going to become a mother of 100 sons, but you are taking away my husband, how am I supposed to become a mother of 100 sons if you're taking my husband away? So Yamaraj became defeated. He said, oh, okay, this is your trick. You play a trick on me. So in this way, so Yamaraj released the husband. So in this way, because of the chastity of Savitri, so even though the husband was destined to die at this particular time, but that was meant to be. She was able to reverse the cause. So as they say, that the chaste women, they can do the most impossible, So Krishna says that yes, I am the subduers of time. Time I am. So time controls everything. Is this? And then among beasts, I am the lion. The lion is the most ferocious animal. Is the lion. So many big animals may be there, but lion is the most, is the king of the animals. I don't think there's lion in India. They have tiger here. I don't think they have lion in India. But you go to Africa, Africa is full of lions, especially Kenya, Tanzania. lions are there, big, big lions. So, because the lions represent the most powerful animal, so Krishna said that yes, I am that powerful entity. That is me. And then among the birds, I am Garuda. So the sun is what is that? The vainateyaḥ. Vainateyaḥ means Vinata, the son of Vinata. That's Garuda. So Vinata is a great rishi, and the Garuda is his son of Vinata, is the great rishi. And Garuda performs such a marvelous, great activities during the time when the demigods and the demons, when they were churning the ocean of milk. Then the churning of the ocean of maize. So Garuda was there, and he did such a great work during the churning of the ocean of milk that Lord Vishnu was very, very happy with him. And he asked the Garuda for anything he wants. So Garuda asked that two things I want. One is, I want to be your carrier. I want to be able to carry you. And second, I want to have immortality without having even to drink this nectar which has been churned. I want to have immortality and also being able to be your carrier. So Lord Vishnu granted that yes, you be my carrier and also you have immortality. So Garuda is always there to carry, is the carrier of Lord Vishnu, is the biggest bird, it's so huge. Lord Vishnu is big, you can just imagine, and Garuda is able to carry Lord Vishnu. So, so the Lord said, among the birds, I am Garuda. So Garuda is it's so many stories in the Puranas that is there. And his favorite food, the favorite food of Garuda is the snake. Garuda loves to eat snake. So actually we can see that not all the devotees of the Lord are vegetarian. Many devotees, they're not necessarily vegetarians. Just like the Pandavas, like especially Bhima, he was not a vegetarian, but he was, great devotees of the Lord. So Garuda, his food is snake. He loves to eat snake. So that's why Kalayat came to Vrindavan to take shelter in Kalayada, because Kalayat knew that Garuda cannot come to this particular spot in the Yamuna. Because why? Because Garuda had committed some offense to one rishi, and this rishi caused him that if you come to this spot in Yamuna, you will die. This is, I think, this is Subari Muni, yeah. And of course, because Garuda being a great devotee, being a devotee of the Lord, so he cursed Garuda, and of course, Subari Muni, he fell down from his position. He fell down because of, doing such a thing to a great devotee. But the Kalayat knew that the Garuda cannot come to this particular spot. So because Garuda was very angry at Kalayat, he wanted to kill him and eat him. So Kalayat came to that spot in the Yamuna. So, and of course in the Krishna Lila, when the Lord came, when Kalayat, he had made that spot very poisonous, and it causing such a big problem to the Brijbasi. So Lord Krishna came and of course, chastised Kalayat danced on his head. The Lord danced on his head. So when the Lord was chasing, the Lord told Kaliya that you have to get out of here. You should leave this place. So Kaliya was very afraid because he knew that if he leave that spot, Garuḍa will come after him. Garuḍa will come after him. So the Lord told him that don't worry, because I have danced on your head, and the Lord had left his footprints on the head of Kaliya. So his footprint is there. So the Lord told Kaliya that don't worry, because my footprint is on your head. Kaliya will not, Garuḍa will not disturb you. So in this way, Kaliya was, he was safe. The Garuḍa will not kill him. So the Lord's Garuḍa is a great devotee of the Lord, the bearer of Lord Vishnu. So in this way, we should understand that yes, the Lord, anything great in this world we can think of, that is the Lord. That is the representative of the Lord. Now we're going to read the next one. The next text 31. The Lord said, pavanaḥ pavatām cāsmi rāmaḥ śastra-bhṛtām aham jhaṣāṇāṁ makaraś cāsmi srotasām asmi jāhnavī. So the Lord says, of purifiers I am the wind, of the wielders of weapon I am rāmaḥ, of fishes I am the shark, and of flowing rivers I am the Ganges. So in a purpose wrote, of all the aquatics, the shark is one of the biggest, and is certainly the most dangerous to man. Thus, the shark represents Krishna. So the purifiers, the wind, the wind carries everything, pavanah. So the wind carries everything. Pavatām is the purifiers of all, the wind. So the Lord said, pavatām asmi, of all that purifies, I am the wind. So that is the Lord. And the rāmaḥ śastra-bhṛtām aham. So Rama, in this case, this is indicating Parasuram. Parasuram is a Saktyavis avatar of the Lord. Parasuram was famous for killing the demoniac, the Kshatriyas who had become demoniac, who had become troublesome to the earth. So for 21 times, 21 generations, Parasuram, he killed the Kshatriyas who were irreligious for 21 times. And the Parasuram is still existing. It's in the Himalayas, but we cannot see him. He's still there in the Himalayas. He was there during the pastimes of Lord Ram. He was also there during the pastimes of Lord Krishna. He was the guru of Bhishma Dev, the guru of Kana. So many pastimes is, many pastimes is there. The Parasuram is, that is there, that he performed. So that is a Saktyavis avatar. It's an empowered incarnation of the Lord. And the Lord says, the jhaṣāṇāṁ makaraś cāsmi. Among the fish, I am makaraś. Makaraś is a big fish. It's so big that he can actually swallow a whale. For him to swallow a whale, it's nothing. Makaraś is huge. It means a bigger fish. There are so many big fish, Shark is very big, the big shark, especially the white, they call it the white shark. It's so huge. There's a whale. It's a whale. It's huge. For the whale to swallow you is nothing. It can swallow you like this. It's like, it's like a snack. So huge, big fish. But bigger than the whale is the makaraś. So huge, it can swallow the whale. So this fish, the Lord says, I am that fish, which is the biggest of the biggest among the aquatics. The Lord says, I am that fish. You can say. And of course, srotasām, asmi, jāhnavī, among the rivers, the flowing rivers, I am Ganga. So Ganga purifies all, purifies everything, Mother Ganga. King Bhagirath, he brought Gangas to the earth because he wanted to purify his ancestors who had been burnt by Kapil. So Bhagirath, so he brought Mother Ganga down to earth, and then it was down to this planet, flow from the heavenly planet, go down to the Himalayas, and then all the way down to Ganga Sagar in West Bengal. So Ganga is there. It's been flowing since long period of time. And anyone who take birth in the Ganges become purified, become cleansed of all sins. So Ganga is very, very the most the greatest of all rivers. So Lord Krishna said, I am Ganges. That is me. So anything great, anything powerful, anything most purest, the most purifier, that is Krishna, that is the Lord. So it's easy for us to actually see the Lord in everything. Now, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was expressing that sometimes people who are outside the Vedic, Vedic religion, outside the Vedic religion, let's say people who are outside of India, you find them engaging in worship of anything that is great. Sometimes people worship big animals, they worship big trees, a very big tree, people worship them. Because they could see that, yes, these great things represent God. So they worship them. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur that said that we should not be, we should not laugh at those kind of people. We should not be, we should not look down on those kind of people who are worshiping something great, because to them, they could see the manifestation of God in them. So therefore, they are worshiping them. So therefore, we should not make a jest of them. We should not look down on them, saying that, oh, look at this aborigines, these low-class people, this is what they are worshiping. No, we should not. Because, this is it's because worship of God is progression. It's a progression. Because somebody could see some element of divinity, so eventually they will eventually come to the absolute truth. Eventually, because they could recognize the element of divinity in whatever aspect they are worshiping. So therefore, we should have some kind of recognition. If we see such people who are doing, even though such worship may be in the mode of ignorance, it may be, but still we should have some kind of a recognition in such worship. After all, anything great, anything wonderful in this world, that is God. And that's what the Lord is expressing in all these various texts of this 10th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so I'm going to stop here. If there's any question, comments about this? So God is great. Okay. Okay, you can ask your question.
Regarding the discussion, Saubhari
Mm-hmm. The what?
Saubhari Muni.
Saubhari Muni, yeah. Saubhari Muni, yeah.
Actually, normally Vaishnavas would be compassion.
Yeah.
So, what is the wrong with Saubhari Muni is compassion with the fishes. So, Garuḍa every day really catch the fish. Jivadaya is the main thing.
Yeah. Yeah, Saubhari Muni, even though he wanted to protect the fish and all that stuff, but what he did also offensive to a Vaishnav. Vaishnav is, the greatest Vaishnav is Garuḍa, by cursing him. So that's an offense. So therefore, he got a repercussion. If from being a great rishi, meditating in the river, he went to become the husband of 50 wives. So you can see. So you cannot be offensive to the. We can't be. Yeah, we want to be compassionate, but we cannot be. We have to recognize Vaishnav. The Vaishnavas, they are very, very dear to Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu said, "The Vaishnavas are my heart." You offend the Vaishnava, you're offending my heart. Just like Dubasmani. Dubasmani is a great devotee. He's an incarnation of Lord Shiva. He's a great devotee of Lord Vishnu. But he became offensive to Ambarish Maharaj. So the chakra was after him. So we cannot be offensive to another Vaishnava. We always have to recognize Vaishnava.
Second question is, normally when we purify, we use the water,
Mm-hmm.
achama.
Yeah.
But here it is mentioned, purifies I am the wind.
Yeah.
We are not using the air to purify us. Whenever we start to any auspicious activities, we achaman first with water.
Yeah.
How to understand this? Here Krishna said, I am the wind and purify us.
Because the wind is greater than the water. The wind is in the fourth element. Bhumi, Apo, Nalo, Vayu. Bhumi, Apo, Nalo, Vayu. It's the fourth element, which is like many times greater than water. And wind can blow out everything. So Krishna said, that I am. And of course, of the water, rivers is Ganges, it's the flowing river, flowing water. But he said, I'm the wind. The wind is much greater than water. It's greater than water, greater than fire. The earth, the water is 10 times greater than the earth. And 10 times greater than the water is fire. 10 times greater than the fire is fire. And 10 times greater than the fire is wind, Vayu. So Krishna said, that is me. So that's what Krishna says. Okay. You wanted to ask a question?
I'm so happy to hear this description because beyond we don't have our senses to Krishna is very magnific, is splendid. All the spark and spark of splendor that we see in different places, like in the water, the air, is the topmost always. The big and dangerous fish is the lion, all the more powerful, all the opulence is part of this material world.
Yeah, that's what God means. God means the most powerful, omnipotent, G-O-D, the greatest, omnipotent, and the most powerful. And of course, G-O-D means it's also the destroyer. It destroys everything in the form of time, because time destroys everything. So, and it's powerful, it's the most powerful. Except Vrindavan, it does not display its power in Vrindavan. Vrindavan, just like the cowherd boys, they think they are more powerful than Krishna. So only in Vrindavan that Krishna is different, because this is his home, his house. When you are in your home, you don't display your power in your home. You don't display your power. That's the difference between Vrindavan and everywhere else. So when Krishna is in Vrindavan, it's just a loving, a relative loving person, the most lovable friend, the most dear, most lovable child, to his mother, and the greatest, the most lovable lover, the greatest love, like this. So it's different, but everywhere else, God is God. So yes, anyway, that's much more. So this chapter 10 is what the Lord described, and then in chapter 11, when we get to chapter 11, we're going to see how Krishna actually shows his entire manifestation that actually bewildered us. Even Arjuna became afraid after seeing the Lord's universal form like that. And then, of course, the last verse of this chapter, when the Lord said, Yaya Vibhutima Sattvam, Sriman Ujitam Ebaba, that is describing all these things, how is the biggest of everything, the most wonderful. The Lord said, still, all these things, this is just a tiny spark of my splendor, tiny spark of me. You can just imagine. Because in the spiritual world, the Lord's manifestation, this material world, which is so vast in itself, it's just a tiny corner of the Lord's manifestation. Tiny corner, the spiritual world. The material world is just a tiny corner of the Lord's manifestation. The spiritual world is much bigger than this. So, okay, one more question.
My question is because I see that you do everything for that we concentrate our mind on him.
Mm-hmm.
He appears most of the time. And my question is for those who are Krishna conscious, how would they prefer to serve or
To what? To see Krishna?
Yes.
Well, devotees, of course, in the beginning, we see the Lord is omnipotent, His omnipotency is everything. Just like when you read its Upanishad, it's all about how the Lord is completely everything. And so that we see. And of course, as becoming more and more advanced, becoming more and more purified, we see things. And then we can begin to see the beautiful form of Shyamasundara, beautiful form of Krishna, as our eye become more purified due to by devotees association. But still, both sides is always there. It's there that he mentioned that the devotees, especially those kind of devotees who are performing what we call the spontaneous aspect of devotional service. But at the same time, the rules of the regulation is always there, whereby they never forget the laws, because even though here in Vrindavan, even though the Lord was performing his beautiful pastime with his devotees, but still from time to time he manifests his omnipotency from time to time. From time to time, he will manifest his power from time to time. Just like when he opened his mouth, and Mother Yashoda looked inside, and she saw the universal form. She saw the whole universe. She saw everything in the mouth of Krishna. And she began to wonder, what am I seeing? What am I seeing? What am I seeing? So the Lord in that time was manifesting his Ishwara, his vibhuti, to Mother Yashoda. But again, the Lord did not want to disturb the ras that Mother Yashoda has. So he again immediately brought his covering. Immediately, Yogamaya again brought. So that okay. And then Mother Yashoda started thinking, maybe some ghost is affecting his, our son, so like that. But again, omnipotency of the Lord is always there, and that's why when we're chanting when we're chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, that is there, The devotees of Mathura or Dwarka, they see Krishna differently than the devotees of Vrindavan. They see differently Krishna. But in our neophyte stage, we should always think in terms of the Lord's manifestation. In the beginning, when Prabhupada was preaching in America, when devotees, sometimes they devote the Lord with, especially in the beginning, especially sometimes some devotee will say that, they cannot give up drinking beer, wine. So Prabhupada will say, okay, just see Krishna in that, just offer it to Krishna and drink it. Because they could not give it up. The most neophyte, they could not. So Prabhupada said, okay, just think of wine as Krishna. Think of beer as Krishna. So eventually you give it up eventually anyway. But again, this is just the mercy of the pure devotees. The Lord did, a pure devotee went to the most fallen place. What is he going to do? So in this way, eventually they will give it up eventually. So it's okay. Just see Krishna. Think of beer as Krishna. Think of wine as Krishna. So this is just the way to bring people into Krishna consciousness. Okay. Any other point? Anything? Want to ask a question? Okay. All right. So we should see Krishna in everything. In this way, we will become Krishna conscious. All right. Jai Śrīla Prabhupāda ki. Hare Krishna.